Hello everyone and good day. Now, like in our last class, we discussed about the display unit in basic computer operation, the SC 102. Right. So we discussed about starting of the development of the first display type of the monitor, which was first developed in 1940s. They started the colored in 1980s and 1990s. LCD, and then 2000 they started updating the plasma LCD and organic LCD, right? So in this class of today, we're going to discuss about the printers. So printers are also part of the computers. We have different categories of printers these days that we use in different places, in offices, in business places, and then in the ATM machines and the POS machines, and all type of transaction. We do have different kind of printers. So the first printer that we are going to start discussing today is the print text and the instruction on top or onto paper. Main type, this is a thermal printer. This printer creates a purchase heat pin against a sensitive paper. Is cheap and fast. Such example of this kind of printer is when you go to a POS machine and you withdraw money with the POS people. They will give you a small receipt with your hand. So such kind of printers, they are very fast. Or this kind of printers, you can find them in a shopping mall. After you finish purchasing all your items, they will print you a receipt and give you, and this printer is much more faster and cheap. You can able to purchase it more, not unlike the other printers. So the second printer that I'm going to discuss is inkjet printer. This inkjet printer created by spreading the dot of the ink on top of the paper. High quality text and graphics slow. It's very slow because its cost of the printer is low. Most cost of the ink is high, so the printer specifically itself is low. The cost of it to buy it is low, but the ink is much more expensive. And this kind of printer is only used for individual purpose mostly. If you said you want to put it in a business center, this kind of small one, I don't recommend that for you because it won't last long because it's ink. Sometimes when you don't use it for a while, the ink will get dry, and that the printer will stop printing color and will start giving you different kind of issues. Because I come across using this kind of printers and I have faced some different challenges while using it. So I recommend you to go and buy the best one, especially if we are running a business. Buy the big printer, that multifunctional printer. That's the best one that you can be able to use at all times. So we have also laser printer. So laser printer create and applying ink powder. So this is have the toner, right? This is one of the best, I guess, printer that you can be able to purchase because the ink of this printer is powder. So powder does not get dry. It's already like powder. So it's inside the toner to drum. Toner on drum is heated and apply onto paper. Very quality text and graphic pass expensive. This specifically, this kind of printer is expensive. It's expensive. Toner is sold in cartridge, so you can buy the toner in cartridge. But in Nigeria, we have much more creative people that bring out the idea of you can refill the toner instead of buying complete cartridge, because the cartridge is expensive. While instead of buying it, you can just buy the folder and then refill the cartridge and keep using your own printer. So I will give you some tasks to perform, please. If you have time, just answer these questions. It's very important for me, and then submit to my email. I'll go through them and see. Please try much as possible to use your understanding. That will give me a high understanding that you understand what I taught you in the class. So continue on the printers, right? So printers. So we have multifunctional printers. I tell you earlier, right? Multifunctional printer. This kind of printer print color, print photos and scan. So this kind of printer performs almost three activities. It can print color, it can scan the document, and it can print black and white. So disadvantage of this, everything in this library we're using has advantage and disadvantage, but we have to look at the advantages of anything that we are using in this day. That's the most important part that we have to consider first. So disadvantage of it is using one function may interfere with other functions. Let's say, for example, you keep using the colored one constantly all the time. You forget using the color, the black and white. So those functions can interrupt one another. Or sometimes maybe if you're using it, different people has too much hands on it, it can cause you a damage, or one function can stop using because you have different people using it. Some will use it carelessly while some will use it very carefully. So you have to be very more carefully while using it and know the people that can be able to use your that kind of printer. More likely to break down due to the heat. So if you pressure this kind of printer, it can break down and stop working. So you have to know there's amount of papers that you can print per day. So you have to take note of that so that the printer will not stop working. Sorry. So we have the wired and then wireless computer part. So this is how normal desktop is being connected with each other. So you can see that everything here is being connected with the CPU. This is the CPU, the central processing unit, brain of the computer. So computer part classified into wired and wireless one. Wired computer part is connected by the wired cable, low battery, while the connected attached is called port. So these are all the connections. This is keyboard is connected with the CPU, printer is connected with the CPU, mouse is connected with the CPU, monitor is connected with the CPU, and then the power supply is only the power supply of the other three of them have to connect it to the power supply directly, while they must have all connection with the CPU in order for them to perform the action that you need them to do. So that's the brain of the computer. That's the place that we do have processor that enable us to process everything that we are working on, everything that we are using. That's the place that we can be able to process the information and give us the output. So this is simple basic connection of how you can be able to connect the system. So for example, when you want to connect the monitor with the CPU, you have to watch out port, the wire that you have to connect with. There's a HDMI wire that you need to connect to the port of the CPU, and there's a graphic port that will allow you to be able to see the graphic of the system. Same like keyboard. Some keyboard has USB port, while some has HDMI, while some are wirelessly. Then the mouse also as well have a USB port as well. Then the printer as well have a USB port. So I guess we will stop here for these lectures, and in the next class we will discuss about the next topic. So thank you for your time, and see you in the next class.